Every year, every month, every day, there are dozens of new video games I wish I had the time to play but just can't quite fit into my schedule. I play lots of games and try to play as many as I can across all genres and publishing scope, AAA, indie, or otherwise, but there's just too many great games nowadays for any one person to play all of them. But I can damn well try, and in this video I wanted to look ahead at all the great games releasing this month of September that I want to get time with, and it looks to be one of the busiest months of the year so far for me in terms of raw number of releases. Now there are two games I'm very excited about that kind of bookend the month that I don't want to dwell on too much because they're going to get tons of attention on their own. And those are of course Astrobot and the PS5 starting the month releasing on the 6th, and Zelda's first real big adventure of her own with The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom releasing on the 26th. There's going to be tons of conversation around those two games, and I'm extremely excited for both of them, but figured they're going to get plenty of attention already, so time better spent on these other games. Before I just jump into the other four games I'm excited for, I want to take the time to remind you to comment below what games you're most excited for this month, or even the rest of the year. And if you want to see if I ended up liking these games I'm about to talk about, subscribe below to make sure you don't miss my monthly recap video I post on the last day of each month talking about all the games I got hands on. Alright, now to the games. This first game is one that looks to be extremely up my alley. I love platformers, I love action, I love great pixel artwork, and I think I'm going to love Elsie. Elsie is a roguelite, a genre that I have history of falling headfirst into and spending way too much time with. Games like Dead Cells and Hades have grabbed me strong in the past, and I think Elsie could be a very similar effect on me. Elsie comes with a futuristic sci-fi setting, and the bright color choices and loud visual effects really make the game pop in my opinion. I'm excited to see how the upgrade system works, and see just how crazy the on-screen visuals can get when I get a good build going. Crafting a broken build and destroying everything on screen is probably my favorite thing in a roguelite, and if this game can hit here and combine that with some fun platforming, I'm gonna enjoy myself. There seems to be two characters to choose from, the second of which is Andrew, who is melee focused, and has some unique augments, weapons, and abilities from Elsie. This should help spice things up between runs, and I tend to lean a little bit more into up close and personal playstyles, so I imagine me and Andrew will become good buddies. It is unclear to me if Elsie is Night Shift Games' first released, but they seem to be a smaller team, so I'm hopeful for the best for them. Playtonic is publishing this one, the ukulele folks, so hopefully this game can be a success for all involved. Elsie looks great, and there's lots of good indie titles this year, but I bet this one ends up as one of my favorites when it's all said and done. The Plucky Squire is the next game I want to talk about. I can finally say that game is coming out this month. I've been looking forward to this game for so long now. I was really hoping it's going to come out last year, but I don't mind that it had to cook a little longer. I'm sure it'll be for the better. This game is bursting with creativity, and it just looks so jolly and pleasant to be in. James Turner, formerly of Game Freak and co-director for this game, has a great Twitter account where he's constantly sharing great artwork involving video game characters I love, and I cannot wait to see how Jot becomes a new favorite of mine. I really dig the storybook aesthetic to this game, in large part due to James's art, but also just to how it really allows the game to get weird and creative with what's going on the page. It looks like a good portion of the moment-to-moment gameplay will be in the top-down 2D Zelda style, but the kicker with this game is it shifts between a 2D plane on the storybook to a 3D adventure outside the book and the surrounding areas in the room. I get the sense there's going to be lots of really neat ideas bringing you back and forth between planes, and I imagine possibilities similar to puzzles in A Link Between Worlds, where Link had to go from a 3D space into a 2D space to move forward. There's also some indication the game will have a fun, rule-bending, almost fourth wall-breaking moments in the story where you can change the words around the page to fit your objective. I never played this game, but it kind of reminds me of Baba Is You from several years ago. There's a ton of variety of gameplay surprises I've seen from trailers, and I'm really looking forward to the bosses that look like they're going to be super cool and mix with the gameplay quite a bit. I can't picture a scenario where I don't love this game, and lucky for me, it's coming to PS Plus Extra, so I'll be able to check it out for free, sorta, kinda. Keeping the indie train going, next up is Anotria: The Last Song. I'm a huge Souls fan, playing all the From Software games, most of which more than once, but historically I never really looked for anything in this genre outside of FromSoft's own titles. Last year, however, there were two Souls-inspired games, Lies of P and Lords of the Fallen, that I think really captured some of that magic and have made me hopeful it'll become more normal to get FromSoft quality Souls-like games from other developers more frequently. This month, I'm hoping that Anotria: The Last Song can continue this trend so I can continue to be fed. Italian developer Giamma Games has created Anotria a very sunny, almost surprisingly warm and welcoming looking world to take place in. In a video on their YouTube channel from a couple years ago, they even referred to the game as Summer Souls. I'm sure as the game gets deeper in and explores its Italian folklore inspirations, things will continue to get more sinister and dark, but hey, I like a nice sunny vista if it sticks with that from time to time in this one. Watching the gameplay trailers, it looks like this game is going to have a good variety of weapons and offensive options, which is super important to these games for me. Finding the right weapon that clicks with your playstyle can really change your experience in a Souls-like game, so the more options the better. It also looks like there's some sort of deflect or parry shenanigans going on in this game. I can't tell for sure without playing it, but if there is some Sekiro-inspired deflect mechanics in the mix, I'm listening. This game, unfortunately for me, comes out right after Plucky Squire, and I'll be playing both of these on PlayStation, so I'm going to have to get creative with my time to enjoy them both. I grew up on Disney. This was before I could walk. My mom had me watching Disney cartoons, and I've had this Mickey Mouse blanket that drapes my shoulders as I type this for as long as I can remember. Before I knew Batman, before Mario, before any other big character, I knew Mickey Mouse. Old Mick and I have been pals for so long, but in truth I haven't played very many of his games. One of my biggest ones on my list to play for the longest time has been Epic Mickey. When this game originally released on the Wii, I had entered my Xbox 360 Call of Duty with Friends All Night era, and a Mickey Mouse game on the Wii just wasn't what I was looking for at the time. I have now grown up and see the error in my ways, and have been begging forgiveness to both Mickey for skipping his game and Mario for disrespecting the Wii, but now the time is ripe for me to make things right. Epic Mickey Rebrushed looks to be a one-to-one remaster of the Wii 3D platformer, and by golly, I think it looks beautiful. I decided to splurge on this one and get the collector's edition. I don't do this super often, but it came with a sweet statue, and I haven't got a new statue in a while. And I really don't know a whole lot about this game. Surprisingly, over the years I haven't really seen much of it, and just the gist of my understanding is that it's a 3D platform with Mickey, and you have a cool paintbrush wand, and it looks like you use that to restore some color back in the world. I'm not really looking to have my mind blown away with this one. I really just want to have a nice relaxing platform to play on the Switch while relaxing on the couch. Hopefully Mickey can have my back there and come through for me. The original game had some decent reception with low 70s in Metacritic, and I bet with it being in the genre that I enjoy with 3D platformers, that it's going to gel with me real well. And I'm really excited to see what I missed. Now, of course, there are other games coming out this month I would like to eventually look to put time into. The Persona 3 Reload DLC once I finally get rolling and finish that game, and then the Marvel vs. Capcom collection is one I want to play, but I think I'm going to hold off until the physical copy releases in November. I say this pretty much every month, but the onslaught of quality games cannot be overstated, and September seems to be the best example of that this year so far, for me and my taste at least. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to throw a like on it, and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Like I mentioned at the top, I'll be talking about these games at the end of September with my monthly wrap-up video where I discuss my favorite games from each month. It's going to be a tough one to pick, I imagine, looking at the list in front of me at the moment. I guess we'll see in a few weeks. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.